Tuesday afternoon, about 2 o'clock, April 12th, 2022. Who is greater, Rogers Hornsby or Honus Wagner? Let's get into it. I think the way to look at it is there's a lot of categories. Compare their stats. What do you think's better? How about looking at career average, runs, RBIs, home runs, triples, doubles, singles, total bases, slugging, on base, strikeouts, at bats, games, stolen bases, walks, career hits, 100 RBI seasons, most runs scored in a season, most RBIs in a season, years played, 400 batting seasons, and 200 hit seasons. 22 categories. Let's see who wins. Career batting average, Honus Wagner, 328. Hornsby, 358. 30 points higher, 1-0 Hornsby. Career runs scored, Wagner, 1739. Hornsby, 1579. Wagner, 1-1. RBIs, career, Wagner, 1732. Hornsby, 1584. Wagner, 2-1. Home runs, Wagner's 101. Hornsby, 301. 2-2. Triples, Wagner, 252 career. Hornsby, 169. 3-2 Wagner. Doubles, Wagner, 643. Hornsby, 541. 4-2 Wagner. Singles, Wagner, 24-24. Hornsby, 19-19. 5-2 Wagner. Total bases, Wagner, 4870. Hornsby, 4712. 6-2 Wagner. Slugging, Wagner, 467. Hornsby, 577. 6-3 Wagner. On base, Wagner, 391. Hornsby, 434. 6-4 Wagner. Strikeouts, Wagner, 735 career. Hornsby, only 679. 6-5 Wagner. At bats, Wagner, 10,439. Hornsby, 8,173. 7-5 Wagner. Games played, Wagner, 2794. Hornsby, 2259. 8-5 Wagner. Stolen bases, Wagner, 723. Hornsby, 135. 9-5 Wagner. Is he better? Walks, Wagner, 963. Hornsby, 1,038. 9-6 Wagner. Hits, Wagner, 3,420. Hornsby, 2,930. 10-6 Wagner. 100 RBI seasons, Wagner, 9 of them. Hornsby, 5. 11-5 Wagner. Most runs scored in the season, Wagner, 114. Hornsby, 156. 11-7 Wagner. Most RBIs in a season, Wagner, 126. Hornsby, 152. 11-8 Wagner. Years played, Wagner, 21. Hornsby, 23. 11-9 Wagner. 400 batting seasons, Wagner, 0. Hornsby, 3. 11-10. 200 hit seasons, Wagner had 2. Hornsby had 7. 11-11. Where did Wagner win? He won in runs scored, RBIs, triples, doubles, singles, total bases, at-bats, games, stolen bases, career hits, 100 RBI seasons. Hornsby wins in career average, home runs, slugging, on base, fewer strikeouts, walks, most runs scored in a season, most RBIs in a season, most years played, most 400 batting seasons, and most 200 hit seasons. Who do you take? Hornsby played 23 years, Wagner 21. Yet, Wagner had less years and had 3,420 hits. Hornsby, 2 more years played, only got to 2930 in hits. So, Wagner had 490 more hits than Roger Hornsby. Yet he played 2 years less. Or we can look at games. Wagner played 2,794, where Hornsby 2,259. That means Wagner played 500 more games, yet he played 2 less years. That indicates that Hornsby, in a lot of those years, wasn't playing enough games. He was managing. He was a manager and player, manager-player combination. Look at it this way. Roger Hornsby, or Honus Wagner, had 490 more hits because he played 500 more games. Following? At bats, Wagner had 10,400 roughly. Hornsby had 8,100. So that's to about 2,500 more at bats. And that's how he got the 490 more hits. If Hornsby gets 2,300 more at bats, how many more hits does he get? 500 at bats, so that'd be about 2,000 more at bats. How many hits would he get? Well, in 500 at bats, you get about 180 to 200 hits. So you got to figure he'll get about 800, 900 more hits. Hornsby would have ended up with 3,700 hits if he has the same number at bats as Hornsby, or as Wagner. Following? Because Hornsby had 2,930 hits, but he had 8,173 at bats. That's why his average is 30 points higher than Wagner. He's at 358 career. Wagner 328. Wagner scored more runs, but again, he had 490 more games, and he had 2,000 more at bats. Is that right? Not 2,000. Yeah. Well, let's see. 1,000. Yeah, 2,000 more at bats. But Hornsby 358 is number 2 all time. Cobb is number 1, 366. Wagner had 1,732 RBIs. Hornsby had 1,584, so that's about 150. But remember, in games played, Wagner 2,794, Hornsby 2,259. That's 490 games. I think Hornsby would have outperformed Wagner with the same number of games and same number of bats in. He did in batting average. He did in runs. He would have in runs scored. He would have in RBIs. Hornsby also wins in home runs, 301 to 101. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. He wouldn't have caught him in triples. He would have passed him in doubles. That's 5. Singles, he would have passed him. Total bases, he would have passed. Listen to this. In total bases, Wagner 4,870. Hornsby 4712. That's about 160. Hornsby would have passed him there. That's one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slugging, he wins 8. On base, he wins 9. Fewer strikeouts, 10. Same number of games and same number of bats. He wouldn't have caught in stolen bases. Wagner gets that. He wins in walks. That's 11. He would have won in hits. He would have won in RBIs. Runs scored, he wins. RBIs, he scores, he wins. Sorry to say it. Roger Hornsby, if he plays the same number of games and the same number of bats as Honus Wagner, he outperformed him. Hornsby, the better player. Who would I take? Well, everybody raves about Honus Wagner. I can see he had 8 batting titles. Hornsby had 7. Wagner was solid. I mean, 3,420 hits with 10,000 at bats. 328 career, very good. A little low on home runs, but he had good runs scored, good RBIs. Total bases were good, doubles, triples. But according to this, Hornsby is a better player than Honus Wagner. Okay. Thanks for watching. I'm out.